is Sports Rage.
Carmelo Anthony threw a right hand that landed.
Anger management is for weaklings.
What an uppercut by Douglas, and down goes Tyson. Mike Tyson has been knocked out.
Vent your rage.
Now Artest has jumped over the scorer's table and is trying to get down to the bench. Artest is in the stands. Fans and players are going at it. The players trying to help each other out.
Resistance is futile.
Do you want to come play with me? Do you want to know what kind of game I have in mind for you? You don't care, do you?
The Rageolution begins now.
What's ripping hardcore country? This is Sports Rage. I am Gabriel Morency. Let's do this thing. Monday Night Meltdown style. Sports Rage can be featured weeknights on North America's only late night satellite anger management class. Pipelines are open. 1-888-9 hardcores, the pimps, the players, the hustlers, the CGs, the people at Boston, and everybody else in between. Breaking it down, meltdown style. The late night anger management class begins. On a bizarre note, Harry Callis, Hall of Fame broadcaster, found dead in the broadcast booth in Washington, D.C. Will Mark the Bird Fidrich passes away after being crushed by a truck. They both may rest in peace. Our condolences with the Callis Ed Fidrich family. It's bizarro world. Phil Spector gets hit with murder charges. Isaiah Thomas getting hired at Florida International University. Craziness and carnage. Al Strachan, Hall of Fame writer. Steve Ludzik, former head coach of the Tampa Bay Lightning, step up and in and break it down. Puck style. The National Hockey League playoffs will begin on Wednesday. The Washington Capitals playing 80 cents against the visiting New York Rangers. Rangers plus 200 and change series price. Pittsburgh laying 60 cents against the visiting Philadelphia Flyers. Canes plus $1.25 on the road. New Jersey Devils throwing it down as Cam Ward and Martin Brodeur meet again in the postseason. We break it down with Strachan and Ludzi. 1-888-9 hardcore. Sports Rage, and of course, sportsradio.com. The Rageolution continues online, webcast. Vent your rage. The Cleveland Cavaliers dancing all the way to the NBA's top seed. They nail it down. The Cavaliers throttle the Pacers. A plethora of meaningless association games. Denver up a 6 spot on Sacramento. Utah and the Los Angeles Clippers throwing it down. Golden State and San Antonio. The Washington Wizards will have a new coach next year. Flip Saunders reportedly getting a 4-year deal with the Wizards, who could have the top pick, i.e. Blake Griffin, in their lineup next year. We break it down and track the late night carnage and chaos and everything else in between. The countdown is on. We hit Montreal, my hometown. Some Montreal Canadiens and Boston Bruins kickstart their series Thursday night. What better place to watch the game than Shea Paré, world famous Shea Paré Thursday night. Mike Goldberg, the play-by-play voice of the UFC, is going to be with us. Bruce Buffer, the voice of the Octagon. Cain Velasquez, who's fighting the Texas Crazy Horse Heath Herring in Germany. Cain Velasquez will join us on Thursday night. The Road Warrior Jonathan Goulet on Friday at Trophy Sports Bar. Vanderlei Silva on the radar. We've got after-fight parties. Things are so crazy. Me and the Raging Redhead will be appearing with Vanderlei Silva at the Zions tent in the parking lot across the street from the Bell Center on Saturday afternoon. So there's a full schedule of insanity rapidly approaching, and honestly, I'm kind of scared, truth be told. A little bit scared. Montreal's like worse than Vegas, actually. Vegas is crazy, but somehow Montreal's even motherfucking crazier. And every time I go to Montreal, I don't have a voice when I come back. I've lost like 2 million brain cells. I've usually done like 1 million things that I regret. I've usually lost a cell phone, pair of shoes, maybe my pants. Maybe we pissed off a bunch of people. It's always a good time going home. 1-888-9 Hardcore Sports Radio, hardcoresportsradio.com. UFC rapidly approaching. We'll break that down throughout the week. The New York Mets open up a Citi Field in less than spectacular fashion. What kind of jerk-off brought the cat to the ballpark anyways? Whoever brought the cat, you deserve to get, hit in the parking lot after the game. Somebody should just, run you over. Anyways, there's a cat, and the Mets lost this evening. And there's a ton of baseball games going on in the late-night hours. Cincinnati and Milwaukee racking up the runs. Kansas City Royals beating down on the hapless Cleveland Indians. Oaktown beating up on the Boston Red Sox. 1-888-9 Hardcore. You know the digits. You know the drill. Hop up and motherfucking in. It's the Monday Night Meltdown has begun. A dark day in the world of baseball. Harry Kalas, the voice, like NFL films, the voice. Without a doubt, the best broadcasting voice of all time. Harry Kalas passes away. Mark the Bird Fidrich, Rookie of the Year, 1976. The Bird, because he fidgeted so motherfucking much. He was when you see a crackhead just buzzing around and bending over. Crushed by a truck on his farm. 54 years old. Evidently it was a 10-wheeler. Dodgers crushed the Giants. Poor choice of words. I didn't mean it. I wasn't trying to be cute there. I didn't mean that. Dodgers drilled the Giants. And if that wasn't enough, Maryland Chambers. One of porn's this is like the Marilyn Monroe of porn. Marilyn Chambers passed away today. Meanwhile, Kenny Perry might as well have the all-time epic choke jobs. Hey, Kenny, meet Jan Vandevelde. Isaiah Thomas, meet Florida International. Isaiah Thomas on the verge of getting the Florida International gig. Or the Boston Celtics. They're not happy because the Cleveland Cavaliers are dancing more courtside than the solid gold motherfucking dancers. It is rather embarrassing. I haven't seen something so embarrassing since the Calgary Stampeders rowing celebrations, which was motherfucking weak. These guys doing push-ups and lifting weights. Hey, how about winning a championship before you do push-ups? That's good stuff. Last time I checked, the Celtics are the champs. You're not. But that's another story. Hop up and in. Al Strachan, Steve Ludzik. We talk pucks. Bring it. Spin it. Kick it. Rip it. Vent your rage.
The Monday Night Meltdown. While he waits, you call. 1-888-9 Hardcore. Vent your rage with Morency. Late night anger management. Sports Rage continues on Sirius Channel 98, Hardcore Sports Radio. This is Game On.
Michigan State, these guys, they need 3 dunks to score 2 points.
I know.
No, it's unbelievable. They're so good. They will them. They're under the basket. They do everything right.
Except for score.
They can't even dunk.
Sirius 98, Hardcore Sports Radio.
It's hard to say what was more incredible. David Tyree's catch or the scramble that made it possible. One thing is clear, from start to finish, this double miracle will be remembered as the greatest play in Super Bowl history.
The Monday night meltdown has begun. This is Sports Rage, uncensored. Hardcore Sports Radio, Channel 9, motherfucking 8. Online, hardcoresportsradio.com, 1-888-9-HARDCORE. Al Strachan, Steve Lovesick will step up and in. As we heard the voice of Harry Callis passes away in the broadcast booth before the Washington National Philadelphia Philly game. Bizarre World, Mark the Burt Fidrich, crushed by a truck on his farm. Well, Boston University wins one of the craziest ass hockey games in the history of the sport. A comeback of all comebacks. 2 late goals in less than a minute time. Miami of Ohio deprived of their first ever championship in any sport. In any sport. Miami of Ohio, one of the oldest universities in America. They haven't won one championship in anything. Like lawn bowling, track, or any other dumbass motherfucking collegiate sport. They're up by 2 with less than a minute remaining. And somehow they manage the choke job, similar to Kenny Perry. As I rode Kenny Perry, nearly caught a pretty large ticket with Kenny Perry's name on it. Unfortunately, a Sunday afternoon nap for me turned into a disaster. I wake up and I see Angel fucking Cabrera putting on a green jacket. It's a cold-ass world, man. Betting on golf is for the masochist among you. The only thing tougher than betting on golf is NASCAR. Watching some dumbass like double bogey on 17 is brutal. You know, I think it's just as bad, comparable to like Jeff Gordon leading for 199 laps, and then, oh, there goes Jeff's carburetor. He's done. 1-888-9-HARDCORE. Sports Rage, _sportsradio.com. NHL playoffs begin on Wednesday. Strachan and Ludzig will join us a little bit later on and break down the series, their predictions. We'll lay down some of our thoughts on the postseason as well. A ton of series with a ton of value with the underdogs. San Jose Sharks, perennial postseason underachievers, get the Anaheim Ducks. A tough as nails Anaheim Duck Hockey Club with a chip on their shoulder. What a Boston Bruins may be the top seed. The Boston Bruins have lost 24 times in the postseason to the Montreal Canadiens. And yeah, the majority of those times came when Patrick Roy was there, when Guy Lafleur was there, when Maurice Richard was there. Saku Koivu was none of those people. And even with the past history of these teams in the postseason, hard to believe the Montreal Canadiens find a way of winning against the Boston Bruins. We'll run down the series prices. We'll also run down Hardcore Sports Radio's new programming schedule, since there seems to be a lot of confusion. And maybe I need to speak slower or speak with zero sarcasm. Although there does seem to be a lot of disappointment that the Nero and Joanna show isn't happening, actually. But maybe they can take the heat from that and parlay it into a program. But next week, next Monday, we begin anew here in Hardcore Country. Hardcore Hockey Talk moves to 5 o'clock on the television side of things. And then me, the Raging Redhead, and Greg Sansoni step up and in, as well as the covers experts. And there's been a lot of confusion about the name. Just for the record, the name is not Morency and Friends. You really think we'd come up with something that gay? Morency and Friends? Come on. No, I wasn't I wasn't privy to the closed-door meetings when it came to naming the program. I wanted to name it Go Fuck Yourselves, but that didn't fly. No, just kidding. I had Hard Drive. I thought Hard Drive was a good name. What do you think about Hard Drive, Orville? Makes sense? Shows like heavy, hard. It's like hard rock, drive, Hard Drive.
And it's got the computer element also. It speaks for itself.
It sells itself. Oh, Hard Drive's on. Hard Drive. Hard Drive. Now everyone's going to go to bed. Hard Drive. Hard Drive.
Download the Hard Drive podcasts onto your hard drive.
Hard Drive. No, exactly. Really, it's the simplicity of it all. Keep it simple, stupid. Now, me and Cam flipped the coin. If it came up heads, it would be Stewart. If it came up tails, it would be Morency, and I won. I think it's actually Cam's way of not going down with the ship. It's not it's his name. Hey, he was the one that controlled everything. I didn't have a say, It wasn't my fault. Morency was power mad. I just want to clarify, as somebody in the hall already came up to me. He's like, hey, Morency, who are you, Kanye West, fuck? Name of the show's Morency? I'm like, yeah, fuck. I got to tell the story over and over. I didn't name the damn show. I personally, it's like, the saying, I don't want to be a member of any club that would have me as a member. I'm a little bit worried about this whole network. Any network that would want to tag my name to a show. I don't even tag my name to this show. It's just Sports Rage. It's not Sports Rage with Morency. It's just Sports Rage. But nevertheless, looking forward to it. And do not despair if you're a Sarah Meehan fan. She has her own show. She'll no longer be cut off by the Raging Redhead Cam Stewart, myself, or Richard Garner. Sarah Meehan show on every day at 3 o'clock. That's going to be interesting. And we're not dumb. We'll bring Sarah on television as well. The Big E, Eric Cohen, up to date, begins next Monday. Brian Blessing and company down there in Las Vegas, Nevada, Vegas Sports Consultants, going to be throwing it down. The Covers Experts show, very interesting as well. Let's be honest. Here. As long as, this is what we're all about here in Hardcore Country. Game On has become a train wreck of futility. I mean, some of the calls that we get on Game On are worse than bad. Like, I'm really surprised that we haven't been sued for how bad some of these calls are. Like, I'm surprised that somebody hasn't fucking committed suicide and, like, their parents or their spouse, like, sued us because they shot themselves while they were watching Game On because of a bad call. I'm not talking about our picks either. We know they're bad, all right? We don't have to justify that. So we're shaking things up. Covers Experts. That's right. We've been in negotiations with Covers.com for a while, and finally, it's a great partnership that we have with Covers. We look forward to it. Covers Experts takes over. And just for the record, all the names that came in, we really do appreciate it. And the winner, and we're still going to give the prize pack, which is 1 can of Zions. Value of about $1.99. Thank you. Come again. We'll throw some prize pack together. Some Zions T-shirts, a lot of Zions stuff, a lot of, and whatever else we can get. But the betting zoo would have been the winner. The betting zoo would have been that would have been the new name of Game On if Covers didn't come with a bag of money. Hey, Krusty, I thought you said those guys were creeps. That's before I met them. 1-888-9-HARDCORE. SportsRadio.com. Hey, who are we kidding? Everybody goes to Covers.com, and really Covers.com, one of the premier, if not the premier, gaming websites out there. So we're proud to have a partnership with Covers, the experts. Dave Malinsky's been coming on Sports Rage for about 6-7 years now, man. Since like the early days, Dave Malinsky's been coming on with me. Teddy Covers become a big favorite here and a friend of me and Cam's. And for those of you that are down with Brian Blessing, Blessing will be able to do a show right now without getting heckled by me and Cam. So you'll actually get Blessing's picks, and Blessing's going to be a regular contributor with me, Cam, and Greg Sansoni as well. So I think everything is pretty much clarified. 1-888-9-HARDCORE. Sports Radio, SportsRadio.com. Let's go to the pipelines. Let's begin in Tennessee. Gator, Tennessee. What up, Gator?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Yeah, always a pleasure, Gator. What's kicking?
Man, I was just wondering if you had some more insight to this Dante Whitner arrest and what the hell is going on with Buffalo players this year. And, by the way, you said you didn't have your name tied with Sports Rage. Actually, my Sirius display says Sports Rage with Morency.
I was unaware of that.
It sure does.
Okay, so I stand corrected. As far as the Buffalo Bills are concerned, I don't know what the fuck the deal with these guys are. It's not new. If anything, the Buffalo Bills have always had guys that have gotten into trouble, but it is pretty disturbing. Seems to be a constant pattern here. Dante Whitner claims that he didn't do anything, that the cops were discriminating against him, et cetera, et cetera. But at this point in time, I think we just sort of tune it out and hear another player gets tasered. I mean, really, man. A player gets tasered, it seems like every day or every second day somebody else is getting tasered.
Yeah, it's getting to be pretty damn wild. I just kind of got shocked by it when I heard that it was Dante Whitner, because he's been a pretty classy player, over the last few years, but I don't know.
He's a hothead. He's a hothead, Gator.
Yeah, well, I didn't know much about him. In Tennessee, I don't get to watch a lot of the games, and I don't have the tickets, so I just kind of listen to a lot of it on the radio.
The best part is
I see a lot of the deals.
Terrell Owens is, he showed up. T.O. looks less than impressed already, though. He shows up, and he just looks sour. He's talking to the media. They said, hey, Terrell, how do you enjoy Buffalo? You know what he says? I enjoyed going to Toronto. That's his, hey, T.O. He's like, I'm really having a good time. I really had a good time going to Toronto. That's great. Eh? You arrive in the city, and you're like, yeah, I had a great time going to the nearest big town, closest to you guys.
Damn. Yeah, I heard they got more tickets on sale up there this year, the cheaper tickets.
Yeah, they lowered the price a little bit. They lowered the price for some, but they raised the price for others. But, at least people are... The tickets that were $75 are now $99, actually. So the cheap tickets actually got raised, but they used to sell all these... Last year they sold all these crappy tickets for like $300. They're going to sell them for like $225 this year.
Oh, so they put it in other areas and it comes out in the wash. Okay.
Exactly. And, hey, it's going to be a pretty good game at the Rogers Center this year with the Indianapolis Colts against the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, the schedule comes out tomorrow, right?
Yep, and, we know that, I don't know when the game is, but it's already leaked here in Toronto that it's going to be the Colts against the Bills.
Okay, that'll be a good game.
I think it's in October, too.
Yeah, when the schedule comes out tomorrow, I'll call in tomorrow night. Maybe we can circle a game to meet up there in Buffalo.
Hey, damn right, man, damn right. I look forward to it, Gator.
All right, well, y'all have a good night, man. I'm going to cruise on down the highway and get up towards St. Louis.
Gator in Tennessee, cruising down the highway. Just for that, man, we should have the Judas Priest heading out on the highway. I don't believe that we have that in our collection. I got nothing to lose at all. Heading on the highway. 1-888-9-HARDCORE. Sports Radio, SportsRadio.com. Seriously, man. NFL player gets tasered. Who doesn't? I actually suggested to Cam today that we raise the ante. Like on Game On, if we get a pick wrong, if we go head-to-head and the loser gets tasered by the other one, I'm willing to step up and do it. But Cam believes that he'll have a heart attack. He's like, come on, Gabe. No, guys with heart issues and big guys, you taser them. They drop dead. You trying to kill me? So come on, Cam. Come on. Let me taser you, buddy. I don't want to get tasered. I'm not down with getting tasered. Let's go to Derek in Halifax. What up, Derek?
Hey, what's going on, Gabe?
Always a pleasure, Derek. What's kicking, man?
Not too much. Just kicking around, just relaxing tonight. So.
Good stuff. What's on your mind?
Not too much. Did you get? First of all, I want to say happy birthday to Mr. J. It's his birthday today there. So.
Mr. J in Detroit.
Yep.
Mr. J.
Yeah, I was talking with him.
Good stuff. Hopefully we hear from him a little bit later on.
Yeah. No, did you get a chance to watch the Strike Force card over the weekend?
I saw I did not see it live, but I saw it after the fact, broken down. But hell of a card, man. Wicked fights.
Yeah, it actually went really well. Like I said, the whole thing on the internet actually went over pretty well too. Because I was kind of scared that the site would crash.
Did you do it? Did you do the different camera angles and all that crap?
No, I didn't do that. But I was just trying to read up because I thought maybe the site might have crashed and too many people went on at the same time trying to do the whole camera thing. But
I'm glad. No, they had. I read the release. They stated they had some British firm that 100% guaranteed accuracy with their broadband, and I haven't heard any complaints either about it. But I also haven't spoken to anybody that got that service. You know, Brett Rogers got roughed up a little bit, but showed a little bit of moxie getting it done in the second round. And Nick Diaz, man, we talked about it. Nick Diaz is a fucking killer, man. He's an angry fucking kid, that guy.
Yeah, we both picked him Friday night, so.
Yeah, you're damn right. The sun shines on a dog's ass on some days. Let's see if we can pick some winners this Saturday. Who do you think wins? Chuck Liddell or Shogun Hua?
I like Chuck.
He's minus 188.
And what's TJ Grant's rating right now against Rayo Chonin?
TJ Grant is, we'll get you the updated odds.
Yeah, I couldn't find him. I can't find his odds anywhere. He seems to be like the only fight.
Really? I saw the odds. I got to be honest. I don't know if I'm going to see that fight. I don't want to sound like a half-ass pansy fan that goes to Dodger games or Laker games. The fans that show up after the first quarter or in the third inning. Yeah. But I have a hard time, man. I'm not going to the Bell Center at 7:00. Yeah. And I'm not going to be there from 7 till 1 a.m. I won't make it. I'll fucking fall down the steps. I'll be too hammered. I won't be able to survive. So
TJ Grant's plus 162.
And but
that's a good value right there.
He's one of the early fights, so I'm not going to get to see it.
Yeah, but I'm saying hit TJ Grant. I know I do have kind of a bias because I do know TJ and he's a great guy, but he's definitely ready for this. So
Dennis Kang's minus 400, which that's pretty crazy.
Well, like I said, it was like minus 300 in his last fight, and Belcher beat him up.
Exactly. I think I'm going to take a shot with the guy, the Professor X, that was on the show here with us. Yeah. Fukuoka, plus 275.
Yeah, there's some good value. Like I said, Dennis Kang, as good as a fighter as he is, he blows it a lot as well.
Yeah, he has a lot to make up for after his UFC debut. And it's too bad because Sam Stout gets the night started. And, I like Sam Stout. Jason McDonald, Nate Quarry. That's going to be an interesting fight. David Loiseau, Ed Herman. They really, man, Dana knows what he's doing here, man. He's getting people in there early, but then there's the period of, and no disrespect, to Brian Stan and the Christoph guy from Winnipeg and Cantwell and Kane. But really, man, it's a fucking long haul for 5 hours in there, dude.
Yeah, man. But also, before I go out there, I just still want to make the point out there for anyone in the Halifax area. I was talking with Corey and Sappho. We're getting together for UFC 97, going downtown somewhere. So, Pissed Off Paul, Mike in Halifax, or Jamie in Halifax. Anyone else there? Go on the forums or go on the fan group on Facebook. Try and get a hold of me there. Like I said, we'd love to have many people from Hardcore Country out as we could.
Always a pleasure, Derek, throwing it down. So if you're in Halifax, you guys can get together. And if you're in Montreal, you can get together with us. Thursday night, Chez Parade. Then Trophy Sports Bar. The Raging Redhead Cam Stewart arrives on Friday night. Getting off the party train, the poker party train. All right, let's go to a man who we'll see in Montreal later in the week. Clam Chowder. Hello, Clam Chowder.
Hey, how we doing? It's going to be a different way tonight. It's going to be a Feel the Passion rapid fire. So, Gabriel Morency, I'll say hi, and here I go. I'd like to wish the Greek Orthodox for the Easter coming up, and all the other Orthodox, and a belated Passover to our Jewish friends, and a great Easter to our Catholic friends and faithful, and I'd like to express my condolences to all our Italian friends in Italy for the earthquake. Amen. Holy cow, what a great weekend. from left to right on your radio dial. The Boston Bruins host the Montreal Canadiens. Better to be in than out. The Boston University Terriers 4-3 over Miami, Ohio Red Hawks in dramatic overtime.
Yeah, I watched that. That was one of the greatest endings I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that was wicked. And also, congratulations to Mike in Moncton and the people there for hosting a great event of the 2009 Men's Curling Championship. 8-6 Scotland in a dramatic fashion in the last rock there also. And a great game last night in baseball with the Brewers and the Cubs of Ryan. I don't like to play for my country, Dempster, especially in the fifth inning when Reed Johnson leaped up over the fence, ex-Blue Jay, to catch Prince Fielder's grand slam.
Yeah, I had the Brewers last night. The ball was crushed. And the way the camera angle was, the ball was so damn high. I thought it was going to hit the bloody roof. It was so damn high. And it just fucking fell like a shooting star, falling star. Bam, just dropped. A hell of a catch by Reed Johnson. Hell of a catch.
Oh, yeah, and a nice sportsman-like gesture from Fielder.
Yeah, Fielder tipped his helmet to him.
Yeah, and it was great to see Hall of Famer Bob Bucher there also doing the broadcasting for Brewers. So, Hardcore Country, Resolution World, Sirius Satellite Radio, 98. Yamawa's Gabriel Morency looking forward for this week. And let's have a great of my secret creamy sauce. Keep on clam chowdering. Feel the passion week.
Feel the passion week. Sports Rage. It's also Zion's energy drink week here. Now, what happened there? Clam Chowder says we're doing things a little bit different. What's going on, Orville? Clam Chowder requested no music for his introduction.
Yeah, in honor of Greek Orthodox Easter, he said he doesn't want any music this week.
Doesn't want to taint it with Guns N' Roses. 1-888-10-9 Hardcore. Sports Radio, sportsradio.com. All right, we've got Jaime in Halifax on deck. The Rickster ready to step up and in. Let's send it to Louisiana. Derek in Louisiana. What up, Derek?
Man, Gabe.
How you doing, Derek?
Rough Sunday, bro. Rough Sunday, man. I think that NBA game Sunday night, Sacramento and San Antonio outdid the NBA All-Star game. Because, man, there's no way that game didn't go over after they scored 115 points in the first half. And those refs blowing that call at the end, man. Early that day, I hit a 2-teamer, a 3-teamer that got me up to $400 by game time, and I put all that money on the over.
Brutal. That's unbelievable. You know, haven't you seen? I've seen that a lot this year, Derek. The last couple of weeks. The Cleveland Cavaliers, San Antonio Spurs on national television a couple of weeks ago. Same thing. There were a ton of points in the first half, and then it just hit a motherfucking wall. Sacramento games, it seems to happen a lot. Golden State games, it seems to happen a lot where they'll score 121 points. The Phoenix Suns, the Raptors, it seems to be happening a ton this year. Well, 115 points in the first half, and then 66 or something in the second.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think about that? You think it was fixed or what?
I don't know. I'm not going to say it wasn't. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? One thing, Derek, I'll be honest with you. I bet one NBA game tonight, the Cleveland Cavaliers, because they're playing for something. They needed to win to nail down home court advantage for as long as they're alive in the postseason. So I know there's no fucking around. But all these other games, I don't trust these son of a bitches in mid-season. Think I can trust them now when they're not playing for anything? They're head cases, man. It's very tough to get into their heads.
Yeah, but that game meant something last night between San Antonio and Houston for that second spot, I believe. So, I don't know. San Antonio was a minus 700, and the damn Sacramento was a plus 500 on the book I had. I mean, I don't know, man. That was just ridiculous. The end of that fucking game. I'm done betting on the NBA to at least after the first round of the playoffs. So
I'll hop in the playoffs. I'll get in this Saturday, but I'm done. I'm done until then, guaranteed. I'm not touching these games. Why are they even fucking playing anymore? Really? Do the Raptors really need to play again another game on Wednesday? Enough's enough, man. Nobody needs to see them anymore. It's over. Let's get to the playoffs, man.
Yeah. All right, man. You have a good night.
Hey, always good, Derek, Louisiana. 1-888-9 Hardcore. Sports Radio, of course, sportsradio.com. As long as we don't mention Barack Obama, negative fashion. Derek's a fan of the show. Time we get political, Derek's like, hey, what's going on? He calls Orville, put me on. Put me on. Yeah, we like Derek in Louisiana. Jaime, Halifax. What up, Jaime?
Hey, what's going on, Gabe?
Doing all right, Jaime. How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right, man. Just sitting here watching these stupid baseball games. Long season.
Yeah, it's a marathon, baby. It's a marathon.
Fuck.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, it might be a sprint job for Joe Girardi if the Yankees keep on getting blasted like this. I said it, and it sounded like I was insane after, day one in stating Girardi's in trouble. But really, Girardi might be lucky to make it through the month of May.
Yeah, I love it. I hate them fucking Yankees, man. I can't stand them. But what I was really surprised about, and still surprised about, was Baltimore, man. Holy fuck.
They're swinging the bats, lethal bats.
Texas, I had Texas tonight, and they almost fucking did it. But, tough luck, 10-9.
You know what? This early in the season, we don't really know. I mean, Baltimore will still end up being Baltimore. They'll still end up sucking. Cincinnati. These teams will eventually fall, but it's still too early in the season where they've been exposed for their depth yet because they haven't really been injured yet. So it doesn't surprise me when, supposedly crap teams win baseball games because they're still playing with that adrenaline. It's pitcher's first time through the rotation, second time. Baseball is such a sport of longevity that 162 games, man. That's, you start to separate once you start playing 60 games and 80 games. Then it starts to add up. But this early in the year, it doesn't surprise me when bad teams win.
There's a few teams that are fucking surprised me, like Cleveland, and they're really surprising me. And Detroit, you think they'd be a little better than what they are.
But look at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh wins 7-0. They could lose 7-0 tomorrow. They win 10-2, then they lose 6-1. I mean, it's baseball, man. If anything, no early trend. The Detroit Tiger games are going over the number. These guys just go over the motherfucking number. I don't care who's pitching. I don't care who they're playing. I'm going to start getting in on this.
Yeah, for sure.
Baltimore games, Texas games.
Kansas City's one of my favorite teams to bet on this year too. I really enjoy them, watching them play. They get a really good, young, talented team there. It wouldn't surprise me if they could pull out and win the Central. I
don't know. I think they can win the Central next year. I think next year will be the coming out party for the Kansas City Royals. But even though the Yankees are kind of beaten down, the Yankees are still a $200 million team, and I think the Royals got a lot of confidence coming back against the Yankees like that over the weekend. I agree with you. I think the Royals are going to win. I think the Royals could win 81 games this year. I think they could be a 500 club.
Oh, no problem. They definitely got the young talent to do it. The Jays beating Minnesota for 10 straight.
But Travis Snyder.
Yeah,
fucking crushed two baseballs. Crushed them.
Home run. Just before he came out, he tried to calm down his pitcher, be careful with this guy, and next fucking pitch, bang, it was fucking gone.
He's the real deal, this kid, man.
Yeah.
Those are monster Jose Canseco, Barry Bonds, old school shots, man.
Well, they said this kid in high school used to just bang them right the fuck out, eh?
Yeah, I've heard he's hit them he hits some 400 and 500 feet type of monster shots. Like, I don't know what the tape measure is. It's funny. Tomorrow night we're gonna have Burt Blylevel on Sports Rage actually. So he saw that. He was calling that firsthand tonight. I'll ask him. They always measure it at the ballpark, but he fucking crushed them. He crushed them.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot to talk for baseball. I wanted to know what you think about, what do you call for the first major upset in hockey this year in the playoffs?
First major upset?
Yeah, and Montreal over Boston would not be an upset in my mind.
I'll go with Anaheim over San Jose.
Anaheim over San Jose. That's pretty good.
And for the record, I would have said Anaheim over Detroit as well. To me, Anaheim I mean, that's they're not really an 8-seed team. They're a good hockey team. So, and San Jose, Anaheim's players have had more success in the postseason than San Jose's players had. So I lean with the Anaheim Ducks there.
Yeah, I really like Columbus. I really think they're gonna surprise a lot of people. I think, and even with St. Louis, Vancouver better be careful with St. Louis.
I agree. Vancouver, the thing with Vancouver is, and you know this, is that the style of hockey that they play, they're not going to blow anybody out. So St. Louis are automatically going to be in the games. Both coaches, Andy Murray and Alain Vigneault, they both want to play in a 2-1 hockey game. They're both very comfortable being in a tie game going into the third period of play. So I think St. Louis will be worth a look on the puck lines, plus a puck and a half in these games. But ultimately, I wouldn't be surprised if Vancouver, wins the series in 5, maybe 6, but a lot of 3-2 games,
It's going to come down to see who has the best goaltending. I really think that.
Well, Luongo's better than Mason.
Yeah, but sometimes it's different hockey. I mean, St. Louis is, fuck, man. They're the Blues, man. They made me a lot of money this year. They made a lot of people a lot of money this year, man. They're a young team, and they got a lot of talent.
If it wasn't for the St. Louis Blues, Cam would be swimming in Lake Ontario right now.
Yeah, and I mean, you were just saying there about taking a taser after you lost. I mean, I saw one guy take a taser, and he literally shit his pants, like his nerves just went.
Really? I don't want to get tased.
No, I don't think that's a good idea.
No, I've never had. Always a pleasure, Jaime. I've never been tased before. Fortunately, surprisingly enough, you figure that I actually probably would have been through the years. I've had like the Billy stick. I've had the club come close, like raised, stuff like that, but I've never been tased, fortunately. I don't know how they get away with this. Like, how many people, like 60 people a year die after being tased? It's only people with heart problems. Well, generally, the methamphetamine crackhead people that are getting tased generally, have crack problems and heart issues, so. St. Louis Blues plus 205 against the Vancouver Canucks. I like the Canucks. I'm not in a hurry to lay minus 245. As far as upsets are concerned as well, I guess technically it would be an upset because the Calgary Flames are underdogs, plus 140 against the Chicago Blackhawks. Blackhawks seem to be a more fluid team, a more complete team, a more cohesive team right now. The Calgary Flames seem to be out of sync for some reason or another. They seem to be trying too hard. It's like, they're trying. It's not like they're floating, but things just aren't going their way. When things just aren't going your way, you get up, you hit your foot like in the dark on a table or something, you miss a bus, stay late, $1 short. Seem like the Flames are just a bunch of frustrated dudes who are going to fucking snap and kill someone. That's what the Flames seem like. But as things fall into place for the Flames, to me, though, this series, the Calgary Flames, normally they have an advantage between the pipes, but I think Javi Bullen's actually better than Kurpasov, at least in my opinion. 1-888-9 Hardcore. Sports Radio, of course, sportsradio.com. All right, we go to Winnipeg. Gregory, the big hockey fan in Winnipeg. I believe Gregory's also a big wrestling fan as well. Then we get to the Rickster. Al Strachan and Steve Ludzig a little bit later on. All we're missing is Cooley here. Hey, we saw Ludzig's, nice suit on and stuff. Hey, Ludzig, you want to talk a little hockey? I didn't even know Strachan was out of nowhere. Strachan's like, what's going on, Gabe? I'm like, hey, Al, you're free to, come in. So, hey, Al Strachan and Steve Ludzig breaking it down. Gregory in Winnipeg. Hello, Gregory.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing all right, Gregory. How you doing?
Good. I would like to say good job and good luck to wherever Richard Gardner is listening to. I hope he's listening.
I don't think he's listening right now. I believe right now he's in Mexico.
Okay.
But we'll pass on the well wishes. We'll see him in Montreal at the UFC on Saturday.
Yep. I would be going to my first UFC fight on pay-per-view at my local watering hole down here in the city of Winnipeg. Only know two of the 12 fighters, Sylvia and Liddell.
Yeah, there's a local Winnipeg guy fighting, though. There's a guy who's on the Ultimate Fighter. He's a Polish guy from Winnipeg.
Oh, okay. Didn't know that. Second of all, you're speaking to the home of the AHL regular season champions, the Manitoba Moose, 107 points, 50 victories out of 80 games played in this. They're
the Canucks team, right?
Yeah, regular season. Yeah, the parent club of the Vancouver Canucks. So
yeah, the goalie is a player of the year, wasn't he?
Most outstanding goalie for Corey Snyder.
Yeah.
Scott Arneal, who was a former assistant coach in Buffalo, was the most outstanding coach of the year.
That's the team Mike Keane plays for as well, right?
Yep, that's the team Mike Keane plays for, as well as Krog and Snyder were first-team All-Stars for the AHL, but that's not what I'm talking about. If anybody who missed the WWE draft from Atlanta, Georgia, home of the Hawks and Thrashers.
And Harry the Hawk.
Oh, yeah, and Harry the Hawk. Big night for the people who are Raw watchers. Going to Raw, Big Show, Triple H, MVP, Montel Verfelius Porter, Matt Hardy, The Miz, and Maurice, who is the Divas champion. Going to SmackDown, Women's Champion, Melinda, Kane, Winnipeg's own Y2J, may I add. So I could bet you Edge and Y2J are not going to be talking about hockey because first round opponent of the AHL, Toronto Marlies. And I'm laying my predicting down. Moose will win in 6.
Moose over to Marlies in 6, huh?
In 6. CM Punk and Rey Mysterio going to SmackDown, which are both could be seen on the Score television network. And going to ECW, which could be seen, like to say, props to the people of ECW. You can see that on the Sci-Fi. If you have it, if you don't have it, bang your local global subscriber. It's on Global. To check your date and times and listings of that nature. And they're getting the big Russian cyborg, Vladimir Kozlov. So that's my wrestling report. I'm still licking my wounds after the debacle of missed predictions of WrestleMania. Only got 2 out of the 7 or 8, but I'm keeping my heads up. I'm predicting right now Triple H will still win the WWE title in a crazy 3-on-3 6-man tag, and as well John Cena. Sorry about that. John Cena will be the last man standing, and will be taking Edge to school for 12 rounds in the last man standing match.
12 rounds. It's a lot of rounds. That's a lot that Gregory just put out there, man. That was a lot to handle, man. A lot of wrestlers going on. There's a big draft tonight, evidently.
He's like the Sean Mooney of our show.
Well, he's on top of things. You're the king of hockey. He's the king of wrestling.
King of the ring.
King of the ring. No, that's Jerry Lawler. When was his one king? When was his one victory? He's like, fuck, he really this guy's really milked that one victory, huh? Is he ever a champion or anything at least? Or he's just the king of the ring? All right. Rickster. Parts unknown. Hello, Rickster.
You know what, Gabe? Remember when I told you Thursday, did you put thousands and thousands of dollars down for the Saturday's game?
No, I didn't put thousands of thousands. I put a couple of hundred. I like the Leafs on Saturday night.
Sure, I told you it was a guaranteed win, and they knew they were going to beat them. They played well. But I'm going to find out what happens during the summer months here. What Burke's going to do with this team here. He says guaranteed to have them in the playoffs next year. So we'll see what happens, what he does in the off season here. So.
And Rickster, we don't want to rehash what happened last week, but we are assuming that you are in the process of making amends with everybody, right?
Amends with everybody? Who?
As in, paying everybody, Rickster.
Well, that's what I said Friday, right?
Yeah, but in a timely fashion, right?
Yeah, it will be done before the end of the month. Everybody.
All right.
Everybody, okay? That's what I said.
All right, Rickster?
I was really surprised there, too, Gabe, what you said Friday night about me, and I was freaking shocked, right? I wanted to turn the rig around and throw some rotten eggs.
What did I say?
Oh, a dickwad. I couldn't believe it after 2.5 years. You called me a dickwad.
Oh, yeah, well, I think it was kind of justifiable.
Justifiable?
Yeah. More than justifiable.
Not me. If I wanted to start a civil war, I would have done that a long time ago. Red and blue, whatever. But me, a dickwad? Come on, Gabe, not me.
It's like you said about the promo with the two people dumb as fuck. You said maybe the other guy, but not you. I believe Cohen, you were thinking the same thing, right?
Yeah, I didn't exactly like that promo, but hey, it's all good. You got to roll with the punches, Rickster.
Well, anyways, Gabe, I want to talk about the one series there I was thinking about is Washington and the Rangers series, okay? You're saying that, Washington doesn't have any goaltending, okay? They may have a offense team here, but Rangers have a little bit of offense here. And you got to watch out for the Rangers here. Maybe there might be a little upset here, maybe in 6 or 7 games, but...
I think the Rangers, Lundqvist is obviously better than Jose Theodore is. Now, is it enough? I don't trust the Rangers. The Rangers are always one of these hype teams that are going to get it done, and they're a trendy pick all the time. I know they're playing better hockey right now, and they're arguably playing their best hockey of the year right now. But even with Jose Theodore between the pipes for the Washington Capitals, I still believe that Washington just has too much firepower to lose this series.
Yeah, really?
I wouldn't want to lay minus 250. I'm not betting on this series. I'm not going to bet this series price. That's craziness. The line's too high, in my opinion. But I just think I trust Washington more. But I wouldn't bet it. But my pick will be Washington.
Yeah, it's going to be one of these funny series here, Gabe. You got to watch out for, I don't know, maybe the Rangers. But what really shocked me is, Philadelphia blew a chance to have a 4th seed. In that Sunday's game?
Martin Biron blows, man. The guy, he's untrustworthy. That'll be their downfall. I like the Pittsburgh Penguins to beat the Flyers.
Yeah, well, we're going to see what happens here, but there's going to be some upsets here in hockey, I think, this year, Gabe, in the playoffs. We're going to see what happens. You got, like you say, you got to watch out for Carolina. They're playing a hot role, and maybe, St. Louis might do a little damage, but you got to be careful. Canucks, they can't play very lightly with this team here. And they can play 2-1 hockey. They can play defensive hockey, St. Louis. So they got to watch out here. So like you said, it's going to be close, maybe 2-1, 3-1 scores here, Vancouver and St. Louis. But if everything goes well, it should go 6 or 7 games with this series here. So,
I see one game here right now. This is on Thursday night. The Anaheim Ducks against the San Jose Sharks. Total 5.5. That's too high. That game, in my opinion, that game will be a 2-1 game.
Well, at least that one there. But what about Detroit? You think they'll?
I think the Red Wings will roll the Jackets.
You think so?
I think the Jackets will win 1 game. Red Wings in 5.
The Red Wings in 5, and what about the Calgary one? Chicago.
Flames in 7.
The Flames in 7. Well, there's going to be an upset here. I'm picking Montreal in 6 games against Boston because they play well and gets in the playoffs. But worse things have happened. But I have to see this year. You gotta have a fucking Canadian team in here in the final at least to get close to it. God damn, Gabe. Come on, let's have a Canadian team in here for once. It's been a long time. We need to have you hear Vancouver rolling high. But you hear Montreal. But it's going to be sad, but Boston's playing really well this year. But you said Montreal has their numbers, so I hate to say this, but I'm rooting for the Canadians. So
I think out of the Canadian teams, the Vancouver Canucks have the best chance.
I was thinking about this here. Can you imagine a Vancouver-Montreal final game?
No.
No, you don't think so?
No, I can't even imagine it. Come on.
Well, it's just I thought about that today. Vancouver and Montreal, wouldn't that be a fun series?
The only time you're going to see that is if you can find one of those old-school table hockey games. With the old-school guys with the old uniforms. Fuck, I love those games.
Yeah, well, there you go. But I'm glad that you won some money on the Leaf game, but that's what I said. But anyways, before I go here, there's something missing here tonight, Gabe. and it's really, really quiet here. But, oh, yeah, Carl. I know, I got a message for you. If you're listening to this, I know the Windsor and London series is starting up. You know, like I said.
Yeah, it starts on Wednesday, despite the fact that me and Cam both gave picks for the game tonight on Game On. Are bad.
Windsor in 5. The name Rickster will never die. And, Gabe, I ain't no fucking dickwad, you know. If you want to start a civil war with a Rickster, I can do that. But I just want to say, I was ready to turn around, throw some rotten eggs, man. I can't believe you called me a dickwad Friday. Unbelievable. I'm not going to hear from everybody. Yeah, way to go, Gabe. You called the Rickster a dickwad. Finally, it came out of your mouth there. There you go. Hey, just before I go, Corey Sackville, remember, this was a good call tonight, okay? It wasn't a shit show, okay? Just to let you know, Corey, bring it again, okay? Another shit show. And, like I said, Gabe, there's something missing here. It's going to be pretty quiet here. I don't know what's going to happen here, but all I can say is there's something quiet here. And I don't know, the Rickster doesn't like it. I have to change things around here. God bless you.
God bless you, Rickster. Godspeed. I don't know what he's talking about, really, but not really quite sure. Everything seems to be relatively normal. Morency, great show as always. Now that the series are official, I was wondering if Kyle the Angry Intern wanted to put his money where his mouth is and back his London Knights. Until then, fuck the city of London and Cohen as well. J-Rock in Windsor. Good email. J-Rock in Windsor. Not a fan of London. Not a fan of Kyle the Angry Intern. And it appears as if though the Rickster also is aware that the series begins on Wednesday. It's too bad Rickster wasn't producing Game On earlier today. And he could have saved us a couple of picks. I think we'll just give the picks every day till Wednesday. No intro for Kyle. London and Windsor begin on Wednesday night. You've got something going on with the Rickster, Kyle, but now J-Rock steps up in it. A little monetary wager with J-Rock, Kyle?
Well, I don't even want to hear this guy's email yet, but is it not funny that when he was in a little bit of a series over there at Plymouth, the emails weren't rolling in, were they?
No, we haven't heard from J-Rock in about a week or so.
Yeah, conveniently, the same time they were in a tough series with Plymouth.
So, are you accepting his challenge, yes or no?
Well, I got to hear it first. What is it?
Just the series. He says monetary details can be worked out before the series. You know, nothing too crazy, although I thought we put a moratorium on wagers, then right away, first email, I want to bet Kyle the Angry Intern. You want a part of this too, Colin?
No, just for the record, of course, Windsor is a minus 300 favorite to win this series. So if you do take it, Kyle, I get at least 3-1 odds on it.
Well, it figures it'd be a Windsor idiot to not listen to you after Friday night. You know, no wagers, then we got a Windsor idiot over here. Well, let's bet. Jackass.
Kyle the Angry Intern. You have an update, Kyle? What's going on? Ontario Hockey League, nothing going on. What about the Western Hockey League in the queue?
A very tough series out there with Vancouver and Spokane. Actually, 6 periods of overtime this past weekend for the two.
That's hockey.
Seems like great hockey. I mean, I wish we could watch it, but out here in Ontario, there's no possible way of seeing it.
No, it's like Raptor basketball.
Evander Kane, a top 10 pick in this upcoming draft, scored the game winner for Vancouver to save the series.
And the Memorial Cup is still a month away, I believe. It's like mid-May only.
Yeah,
we got a long ways to go. I'm looking forward to this London Kitchener series as well. Of course,
Kitchener's not there. Windsor.
Sorry, Windsor and London, and the Rickster's name is at stake.
Well, not yet technically, because we have to win the OHL championship. So
you'd have to beat the winner of Brampton and Belleville after the fact.
I like the odds of that. But
just for the record, too, everybody picking Brampton. I'm taking Belleville.
You should see, actually, if you're going to make picks, you got to take the over in these London-Windsor games. You got 2 bad goalies, really.
Total of 7 on Wednesday night.
You got a team in Windsor that shoots the puck 70 times a game, and you got, you don't really got much of a goalie in the Windsor net. They switching back and forth. They suck.
As long as I have you here, Kyle, we'll see if we've got any more challenges, because they seem to be coming in fast and furious. No. All right, it's all good, Kyle.
Well, you just tell that dumb J-Rock guy who never calls in, keyboard man, whatever, fucking the jackass who doesn't really listen to you. give me some real details of what he wants to bet.
Proposition to bet. All right, J-Rock. Yeah. You got a lot of fans in Windsor now, Kyle, without a doubt.
Fuck Windsor. Like, what are they? Who can? They are the real irrelevant people.
All right.
We'll see how they can do as a role, in a role as favorite here. I mean, Windsor's not used to being favored in a championship series in the West. They've never been to the Memorial Cup in how long, Kyle?
How they've I think they were there in the 70s, back when it was a different format.
That's what I'm saying. They haven't been there. London has won this tournament a few years ago, so we'll see if Windsor can deliver as a big favorite.
Which reminds me, Gabe, for that Q bet you want to make with me, Rimouski's looking, well, they are going to be there. They won their series, but I don't want to remind you, but London's got a 2-0 record in the Memorial Cup against Rimouski.
That's in the past, Kyle.
Well, so what? I'm just saying, stats don't lie.
We'll see. They didn't play them in Rimouski, did they?
No, they played him in London, but they
in London.
They also had Crosby.
Who?
Sidney Crosby.
He's a better pro than he was. He wasn't a big deal.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
What does Crosby have to do with anything?
Well, they were a much better team back then, obviously.
We'll see. Maybe not.
Well, I guess we will see.
Time will tell. It's like, you would assume the Tennessee Volunteers were a better team with Peyton Manning than they were with T. Martin, but they weren't.
You bring up good points, as Cam would say.
1-888-9 Hardcore. Morency, I'm like a chronic waiting for my fix. I don't know how I get through the weekends without the program. Keep up the great work. Hey, Morency, this weekend Strike Force was a solid start for them on Showtime. Not the best card in the world, but at least a start. Diaz was impressive. I didn't think Shamrock was going to win the fight, but I didn't think Shamrock would get overwhelmed the way he did. As for the boxing on HBO, was solid. Aurelia doesn't stand a chance against the brothers Klitschko. Paul Williams is damn impressive. I hope he gets bigger and better fights in the future. My dick water the night, HBO Canada. It's great they show boxing, but why don't they show 24/7? Thanks as always, because we have the rights to 24/7 on the Score Television Network, actually, Patrick. Yeah, Paul Williams. I like Paul Williams. Problem was, holy fuck, he was minus 275. I just couldn't lay it. Morency, PJ Ryan's the worst closer in the world. He should be traded. Trade Overpay as well. Trade Wells and Alex Rios. They're terrible. What a joke. Never bet on the Blue Jays. Blue Jays are winning baseball games, and people still want to trade them.
Yeah, they're 6-2.
Someone hits into a double play once, Colin, and says, this fucking guy sucks.
It's funny because Overpay homered tonight, and Ryan got the save tonight, and the emails trade those two guys.
Hey, Morency, great show on Friday. Orville is now Christian, the king of sports advocacy. Dick Wad's people on the board whining about Friday's show. Dick Wad also has to be the Raptors. Another weak-ass performance. Didn't the Raptors win as well? What do people want? They got to win by 30? Fuck. Pegman. All right, Ludzig will step up and in. Al Strachan. Athletics pounding the Sox. We break down round one of the NHL postseason. Hop up and in. You know the digits, you know the drill. The Rage Illusion continues. Bring it.